Hello, it's Phil Thatch again with another unboxing. First, I guess I should apologize. I've had a lot of unboxings lately, and that's not normally something that you would see an extraordinary amount of on this channel. But when you sell a bunch of gear and buy a bunch of gear, suddenly there's a bunch of unboxings. And so today I will be opening up this RF squeaky chair, RF 24-70 f2.8 LIS USM. This is the middle lens of the Holy Trinity, where you have a 2.8 ultra wide. I think the RF is a 15-35, and then the middle lens is the 24-70, and the telephoto of the Holy Trinity of 2.8s is usually a 70-200. And I have found, because I had that entire set of lenses for Nikon cameras for a long time, I've found that I really use this lens a lot, the 24-70 a lot, and I really use the 70-200 a lot, but I don't use the ultra wide lens that much, the 2.8 ultra wide. Most situations for me personally where I use an ultra wide, I would prefer to have a lighter lens instead of a faster lens. Of course, I don't do that much astrophotography. The Nikon 14-24, which I'm actually using to record this video, is on my Z6, is supposed to be an absolutely amazing astrophotography lens, but that's kind of a weak area of my photography. I don't do a lot of astrophotography. So I think I will probably not get the Canon 15-35 2.8. I'll probably wait until they make an f4 so I can use that for landscape. But anyway, today we're not talking about that. We're talking about this, the 24-70, and this is my Nikon 24-70, which I usually make my recordings here in the studio with this, but I wanted to show you this lens to kind of compare it to my new one. So I'm using my 14-24. But anyway, this is the Nikon one. I've made a video about it. Mine is 3 generations back. There's one version that's newer for F mount, and now they have a 24-70 2.8 Z mount, which I don't have either of those because this one works so well. But it won't work on my Canon camera. So I needed the middle lens of Holy Trinity, and here it is. Let's open it up. I ordered this from Alan's Camera in Pennsylvania, I think Jared Poland used to work there, which is kind of fun. I actually called him up and I said, hey, make sure that one hasn't been opened up and sniffed. I'm not sure if they got the joke, but maybe you will. Anyhow, when we first open it up, look, it's another one of these crappy bags. It's very similar to the one, and I don't mind a lens bag like this if it's a kind of a budget lens. You know, if it's a lens that's less than $1,000. That's pretty good for that, but this lens costs $22.99. What are you thinking, giving me this crappy pouch? This is what my Nikkor 24-70 f2.8G lens came in, a really great pouch. And I don't know if the current Nikons come in a pouch that good or not, but I know these current Canons, which are super expensive, come with a crappy pouch. Here's some warranty information. Here's my receipt. Now we'll go to the next layer down in this box. Put that over there. Styrofoam cap. Oh ho ho! Look at this. This is I guess this is the lens hood for this lens. And I'd have to say my first impression is, let me get my glasses on so I can look at it. It does have a button here to lock, which is better than most lens hoods that are kind of flimsy like this one. But other than that, I'm really not all that impressed with this lens hood by comparison. Look at this monster. This lens hood, the plastic's got to be 4 times, okay, twice as thick, and it sticks out much further. I've been at a small venue shooting a rock concert and been hit in the back by some people who were slam dancing. It was like a mosh pit, and I got knocked onto the stage no damage to my gear, and I think a good deal of it was the protectiveness of this lens hood. So I just don't think that this lens hood is going to protect my 24-70 as well as that old Nikon one did. So what's next? Here is the lens itself, nicely bagged. And this lens, I don't know what the actual weight is, but it feels bigger than this old Nikon lens. And this old Nikon lens is a beast, but it does not have what Nikon calls VR, and this does have what Canon calls IS. Same thing, vibration reduction, image stabilization, same thing. Really feels good though. You know, and I gotta tell you, I was really struggling to figure out which lens I was going to get. You know, this is the Holy Trinity lens, and it's $22.99, which is a lot of money. But I seriously considered this other lens that Canon makes for the RF, and that's the 28-70 f2. And man, having f2 instead of f2.8 would really be nice in a lot of situations. But I ended up deciding to get the 24-70. You know, that lens is $29.99. The 28-70 is it's $29.99. So that's like, I don't know, $700 more, something like that. And that I don't think that's what kept me from ordering it. It does not have image stabilization, and this one does. So that might have led to some of it. But I think what really kind of turned the page for me is I watched Ken Rockwell, who I've been reading his reviews of lenses for years. He demonstrated a number of things when he was talking about this lens, but the one thing that kind of said, you know what, I think I'll get that one, was he showed how well this produces sun stars at around like f16, f18, f22, how sharp the points are. So take a look at Ken Rockwell. He's got a video and just a web page review of this lens, and you take a look at the sun stars. I'm not going to put his pictures in my video, but that's what made me decide finally to get this as opposed to the 28-70. You know, another thing is the 28-70 it's actually heavier than my 100-500 lens, and it has this is an 82 millimeter filter thread, which, gosh, I wish it was 77. You know, their 70-200 is 77. Their 100-500 is 77. All my filters are 77, but this lens and also the 15-35 part of the Holy Trinity of Canons is 82. So I'll probably have to, I don't, you know, probably won't be doing a lot of filter photography with this squeaky chair, because I have the kit lens, which look how much smaller it is. This is a 24-105. It's really slow, f4 to 7.1, but who cares? For landscape photography, I'll be stopped down to you know, f8, f11, maybe even f16. So this will be the landscape photography lens. So I probably won't have to be putting polarizers and ND filters and things like that on this. And when I'm doing sun star type photography, it'll probably be at night. So probably won't buy any 82 millimeter filters. Maybe I will, who knows. But the lens it's really got a nice feel to it, a nice look. It has its control ring out on the end of the lens. Some of my other ones, I think my 800 has it in the middle, and my 70-200 and my 100-500 will have it way down at the base. I haven't been in the Canon system and the RF system long enough to kind of develop an opinion on which way I like it best, but that's just where it is on this one. Next is the focus ring, which is completely focused by wire, and closest, but it's actually in the middle, is the zoom ring. And this lens at 24, it's as short as it will go, and at 70, it's as long as it will go, and that's kind of what you would expect. This Nikon lens is kind of unusual to me, because at 50, it's as short as it'll go. It gets longer going to 70, but not much, and going to 24, it's at its longest. I've always thought that was kind of unusual about that lens, but this one is at its shortest as 24 and its longest at 70. Gosh, it feels really, really good. It's got 2 switches on this side, autofocus, manual focus, and then there's also a stabilizer off and on switch, and on this side there's a lock to keep it from creeping while it's in your bag. I'm not seeing with it unlocked, I'm not seeing any zoom creep at all with it. But I'm excited to shoot with it, and I'll probably now, at this point in the video, I'll probably show you some photos. And this lens is, for me, it's a portrait lens. Even though it's 24, it's a portrait lens. It's a live music lens. It's a low light lens. That's kind of what I would use this lens for. I might even vlog with it because of the 2.8 to have some nice tone in the background with this lens, where this one at 24 millimeters, it's f4, so it wouldn't have as much separation. But you know, actually in reality, I'll probably vlog with this one more just because it's lighter. The difference in weight is really noticeable. But this is the lens that if I'm going to take pictures of my daughter that I want them to actually look really, really good, it's going to be the 24-70 and the 70-200. The Holy Trinity zooms is what I use for portraits. I don't use primes as much. I just don't think primes are as versatile as a zoom lens. I mean, I know ultimately, like at 85 millimeters or at 50 millimeters, the 50 millimeter 1.2 is going to be better for portraits than this, but this has a bunch of other focal lengths, and so it's way more versatile, and you can get more done without having to stop, change lenses, worry about are you getting dirt and dust inside your camera. Just put this thing on and shoot. That's what the 24-70 is good at, basically everything. So let's take a look at some photographs made with this 24-70 on my R6. Well, I haven't done a lot of photography that would fit for the 24-70 since I've gotten this lens. I've done a lot of bird photography and things like that, which is not what this lens is good at. But Heather had a photography gig. She had a client that was going to have Heather make some portraits of her, so I tagged along and kind of acted as Heather's assistant during that shoot. And we were waiting for her client to show up, and I had the 24-70 on my R6, and I liked this background that you can see over here to the left. So I said, hey Heather, look at me. And I snapped this shot really quick, 1/500th of a second, 57 millimeters, f2.8, ISO 200. And I thought it just came out really beautifully. First, using eye detect autofocus, Heather's eyes are super, super sharp. So that's the first thing, but also look at the quality of the out of focus areas. The bokeh from this lens, and I'm not even fully zoomed, I'm only at 57, but the bokeh from this lens is absolutely beautiful. It's just soft and smooth and just really, really great. So I like the way this photo came out, so I decided to go ahead and edit it. This is the straight out of the camera version that's had nothing done to it at all, and then here is my edited version, which you know, I brightened it up a little bit, dropped the highlights some, did a little bit of split toning, did some skin smoothing and things of that nature. And I sent this picture, actually I sent a version that I don't like as much as this version. I put it on my friend David Saylor's. He has a Georgia photographer Facebook group, and I shared this picture there, and my caption was, the RF 24-70 f2.8 lens is dynamite. And I stand by that assessment. Just look at the sharpness of her eye and the beautifulness of the bokeh. This lens is awesome. All right, thanks for watching this unboxing and initial impressions of this super awesome Canon RF 24-70 LIS USM. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.